All right, listen up, you marks and smarks. I need all of you to go hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and comment on this video and tell me what you think. First and foremost, what's up, y'all? Coming over here on the weekend. You know, it's your boy JB Sports Podcast Entertainment. You already know, JB Entertainment Sports Podcast, but vice versa. You know what I'm saying? We're back here again to talk about the history of the bloodline, the lineage of the bloodline, and the lineage of our tribal chief, Roman Reigns. We acknowledge you. Also, we acknowledge the High Chief, Seilu, a.k.a. The Rock, right? And you can see right there in the background the lineage of the bloodline, what we're here to talk about today. We're going to start off with High Chief Peter Maravilla, right? Samoan legend, territory icon, rivaling Pat Patterson and Ric Flair themselves in the territory days. A big star back in the early days of wrestling in this country. Well, not too early. I'm not talking about 1800s. I'm talking about, late 70s, early 90s, or late 70s, early 80s, excuse me, into the mid 80s. Actually, not because Chief Pete had died in 82, so mid 70s to early 80s, right? And then we talk about the Wild Samoans, Afa, who had took all the knowledge from the territory days and brought it to the WWF, right? And they had paved the way for all Samoan wrestlers afterwards with their stint in the WWF in the 80s, for a fact, okay? Then we have Rocky Johnson, right? Rocky Johnson meets Rocky Johnson, the first ever WWF Black Tag Team Champion, or the first Black WWF Champion. Well, he didn't have the world title, but he was the champion of the WWF. So he was one of the Black WWF champions, along with Tony Atlas for a brief period of time. And at that time, The Rock was a little kid, and he used to go to his dad's shows, right? When he was around 8 years old, when his dad had the belt, and he won the belt. And if you watch Young Rock, you see The Rock take the belt to school, and then the bully takes it from him. He has to get it back from him, but he got it back from him, whatever. But with that being said, right, The Rock had double-crossed Vince McMahon and basically had got blackballed from the WWE and could have worked there because he had took two shows in one day in the same city for a rival promotion in Saudi Arabia. Now, with that being said, The Rock, he does his thing in football, gets injured, has to play Canadian football. He gets cut from the team, and then he decides to become a professional wrestler. Comes in 96, Survivor Series. At first, they imagined being a babyface, but they learned that he had to be a heel in order for his character and his gimmick to work. Rock starts working heel. Rock starts, with the domination, Nation of Domination, Farouk, The Godfather, and D'Lo Brown. And The Godfather has so many different names. Shit, he was Kama Mustafa when he was back then. Yeah, he's Kama Mustafa, right? So The Rock gets over, branches out for the nation, betrays the nation, becomes the corporate champion. After that, yeah, he becomes, the people's champion, right? He turns face, becomes people's champion, becomes the biggest star in the industry besides Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's probably like Stone Cold was like Roman Reigns over right now, and Cody Rhodes is probably like how The Rock is over right now, right? So, okay, he does that. Then, in 2003, retires through creative differences. They were putting over a lot of new guys, and they weren't giving Stone Cold or The Rock the spotlight they deserved, or they felt like they deserved at the time, which they did deserve at the time. And The Rock decided to go to Hollywood because he's making a lot more money, and he'd have to deal with a lot of bullshit and a less stressful tour date. So, then we fast track about, I'd say, 11 years, and then we see the bloodline start to evolve and go to the next stage with Roman Reigns, FCW, hand-picked FCW champion, Well, they thought he was going to be a champion. When he came to the main roster, they thought he was going to be a champion, right? He wasn't the champion of FCW. I don't think so. I don't know. But Florida Championship Wrestling, Roman Reigns starts. Florida Championship Wrestling at that time, if you don't know, was NXT of wrestling, right? And Roman Reigns had wrestled the Florida Championship Wrestling, going on to Dusty Rhodes and Jim Cornette and a lot of older greats of this business, right? Cody Rhodes' father, right? He's learning from him, learning from a lot of other guys, right? He gets promoted to NXT, right? Because NXT changes, FCW changes to NXT, and he wrestles there. And then the creator comes up with the Shield, right? And the Shield becomes one of the dominant factions in the last 20 years, other than Evolution, right? I think second to Evolution, right? Then from the Shield, they broke up the Shield. And then, Seth Rollins had turned on Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose and joined the Authority with Triple H, right? Now, the Authority wanted Rollins as champion, but really the booking was trying to get Roman over to become the main face because they had anointed him their guy at that time, which we'll talk more about later, right? So, when this happens, Seth Rollins gets the money in the bank. He gets all these opportunities. And Roman Reigns, he gets pushed to the main event of WrestleMania against Brock Lesnar, which most people did not like because they thought it was Daniel Bryan's time still. Which it was, but they were going in a younger direction just for the future's sake. Because they know Daniel Bryan at the time, he wasn't healthy. He had a lot of injuries. And they just weren't trying to have another Chris Benoit incident, right? Of all the CTE and the brain damage and the concussions and all that shit. So he just wasn't trying to go that route. And it's funny how we are in the same situation 10 years later, right? Like, the main event was going to be The Rock and Roman Reigns this year. Two megastars, but the fans rebelled against it, right? Just like how 10 years ago, when it was WrestleMania 30, Randy Orton and with Dave Bautista were going to wrestle for the World Championship, but the fans rebelled against it. And the fans believed in Daniel Bryan, right? Just like how the fans now, 10 years later, believe in Cody Rhodes and started the Woe movement because there was a yes move for it, right? So with that, right, we talk about Dean Ambrose because he's a pivotal part of this Bloodline storyline. Roman Reigns, he won his first WWE Championship at Survivor Series, beating Dean Ambrose, being cashed in on because he was not ready, being cashed in on by Sheamus, right? Then Sheamus held the title for a brief stint of time, but then one day, miraculously, going through all the odds, and Vince McMahon as a special guest referee, Roman Reigns wins the WWE Championship on TV on Monday Night Raw for the first time. Then I think he drops it, and then I think he wins it back or some shit like that. Then goes to the Royal Rumble, right? He goes to the Royal Rumble. Then he loses it to Triple H in the Royal Rumble, and which the title was for the first time, and I'd imagine it was like 2015 or 6. Well, this was 2016 Royal Rumble, so the first time in 14 years at that time, Royal Rumble match that was for the WWE Championship. But I just hope you guys like this video. Like I said, like, share, and subscribe. I love talking about wrestling. I love talking about sports. I love you guys. I love all the support. I just want to keep going. I just want to keep growing. This is something I, found fondness in doing. So, I'm still learning. I'm still learning how to, talk into the mic and edit videos and do these things. So, I appreciate you guys, taking this journey with me. And I'll give you a little bit more before we go, because we're going to part 2 of the story right after part 1. It's probably going to download, so I'm probably not going to be able to do that. But part 2 is going to talk about just basically where we were at in 2016. We're going to talk about WrestleMania 32 and the importance of that, the WrestleMania 33. We're really going to talk about just the whole Bloodline saga until right now and how we got here. And then after that, we're going to talk about the Cody Rhodes story and how he has to finish the story and what the story means. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun doing it. So I appreciate you all. And I don't know how much longer this video is going to run, but hey, I'm loving it as it goes. There's a lot of projects we got coming up. I'm on Twitch. Follow me on Twitch. It's Just Bucks. I'm going to leave the link. One of these videos, probably on the third video, or probably when we start to finish the story. But yeah, we're going to keep talking about the Bloodline, Roman Reigns, till we get to WrestleMania Day. And I'll be doing a WrestleMania review, and I'm just happy to get this podcast off the run. Thank you so much.